Welcome. My name is Welly, and I'm joined today by my esteemed colleague from EXP, Kevin. And today, Kevin and I are going to be discussing the benefits to a homeowner using a personal estate agent. And you perhaps explain from your perspective just some of the benefits of using a personal estate agent like us versus a traditional high street agent.
No problem. I went self-employed. August this year will be 6 years ago. Many, many years experience working for traditional high street estate agencies, independent agencies. I don't think that my own service has changed in as much from them because I would always like to have given my all wherever I was working. I think that the main difference to me going self-employed is the ability and spend more time with owners to understand what their needs are, what motivates them to move, what problems they might encounter, and literally to be there for them along the journey, which is why the reviews are important to me because they will basically justify what I tell people. I spent time working on the high street, and there's nothing wrong with the corporate service that people offer. Let's just say one size doesn't fit all. So there will be people that are quite happy to go with a name they recognize, or they'll come along to someone like us where they prefer to have someone there all the time by their side to guide them through the process. What you said about going in second, third, and fourth agent is not my norm. Vast majority of my owners come through recommendations, referrals, and a lot of social media networking. And I find that people have gone down the traditional route, met someone at the property who promises them everything they want. They go, then someone else takes over. Then there might be someone else who's not experienced that comes and does the viewings. Then they get passed on to someone who does sales progression, maybe is not versed with the property, doesn't understand it. And nothing wrong with it because agents work to targets and they want to get properties through. But I know I've been to properties where, had I been working in my old role, I just wouldn't have been able to devote the time needed. Property that is actually completing tomorrow, I've probably been round to that property. I wouldn't like to say how many times, 30, 40 times during the sale, just to basically overcome. Can you answer this question? Can you help us fill out this form? Can you tell me where we're going to do this? Can you recommend X? And it's the time I get to now being as, I don't like the term personal agent. I'm an independent self-employed agent that I value personal service and my clients value that personal service as well. It's, it's a journey that people go on when they sell the property. It starts off with the initial viewing at the property to meet these people. Now, I know when I was working for a bigger company, I didn't have the time to sit and go through everything. My day was mapped out to go and see six, seven, eight properties. I had to get in and out, give them a price, tell them what we do, and that was it. I find now I might see three or four properties a week. I know that I've booked out 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. I know it's the first meet up that we're going to sit down and discuss why they bought the property, what the property means to them, what's motivating them to move, what are their needs in terms of moving, how do they like to interact with people, what kind of service are they looking for, and we tailor it to their needs more than an agent who's busier than me can offer. And obviously that's just the start of it, because then there's the time spent on getting the photos right, getting the video right, getting the description correct. Then I'm available to do all the viewings. So because I've got the history of the property behind me, I will know the property inside out on that viewing. I'm not going to be someone who's just employed on a Saturday to open a door and say, here's the lounge, and that's the kitchen, and there's the garden. My job is to take people through the journey of the property as if it was the owners telling them, this is why we bought the house. That picture there means a lot to us. This is where you can put your telly. This is where you put your seats, and this is where you eat, and this is how you entertain in the evening. And it's putting people into a property that they feel they're taking ownership of. So you've got that link with the owners from the minute one to do the viewings. Then you've got the negotiations. Then you've got the sales process and the conveyancing. So I'm with people from the minute we meet right through to the point we hand the keys over. So I've got a connection with the people, they've got a connection with me. Then I look at my reviews and it tells me that I'm doing something right, and that's what they enjoy. And it's down to people's own preferences. A lot of my clients haven't moved or sold a home for 20, 30, or even longer, 40 years. People take it for granted, oh, who do we choose? Which agent we're going to go to? They don't know what to expect, and you could be misguided down the wrong route. So someone who's got time to look after you, to explain everything, and I know I'm not going to get every property because you've got to match up with people, but I've got more chance of helping people along that journey by taking the time and communicate. And communication is one of the worst things that we have in agency, that people are left floundering. They want to get hold of someone to know what's going on. That agent is not in that day. The next person doesn't know what's going on because it's not their property, etc. Whereas people contact me 11 o'clock Saturday night. I've had 8 o'clock Sunday mornings, 10 o'clock in the evening during the week. Obviously, you can choose to take it, but I know if it's important to them, it's important to me.